In this step, we're going to add the code to make this add to cash per click work, so that every time we click on the add to cash per click, it adds 1 to the cash per click. Oh, sorry, that should say cash per click. Let me fix that really quick. Little typo there. Cash per click. Okay, I've fixed that, and it's time to code it up. So I'm going to click on the button I want to change, and then I'm going to go to Events. And within the events here, I'm going to go Insert and Show Code. When I do that, it takes me automatically to the coding window. I'm going to block code this, but feel free to code this in the text code editor as well. I'm going to use my habit of starting on the bottom and the semicolon to drag that code up into its proper place. Remember, I want functions at the bottom, I want events in the middle, and I want variables at the top. So here we got the click cash power up, and when I click on that, then I want some actions to happen. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to subtract the money from my cash, and then I want to add to the cash per click. So I'm going to write the code that makes that happen by changing the value of some variables. First, I'm going to change the value of my cash. I'm going to say, hey, cash equals cash minus 100. Then I'm also going to say, hey, the next thing I want to happen is I want the cash per click to increase by 1. So I'm going to take that variable cash per click, and I'm going to increase it by 1. And that is going to be cash per click plus 1. So, by the way, those variables are the cash variable that we declared way up at the beginning, and the cash per click variable, which is originally at 5, and now we're going to increase it by 1 when we have 100 in cash. But there's going to be some flaws in this the way it is right here, and we'll run it to see what those are. And so once I hit run, I'm going to debug my program a little bit, and I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to start buying those things. First of all, it really doesn't show me what I've bought. And then when I go back, oh my gosh, I'm at like negative 900 some dollars. Something went seriously wrong, because I don't want to ever be able to go into the negative in this game. And it's kind of acting a little strange. So I don't want to be able to go into the negative. I want some kind of conditional to check to make sure I'm positive and prevent that from happening. So right now it's gray, which means I probably shouldn't be coding. So I'm going to hit the reset button to make sure I have this white background rather than the gray background. Sometimes things act a little weird when you update your code when the program is running. So best to stop that program. And then I'm going to add our friend the conditional. So I want to put in a conditional here. And I'm going to say, hey, if you don't have enough money, don't buy it. But I also want an error message if it doesn't work. So I'm going to use the if-else, which is just a little more complicated, but that's the way I'm going to roll with this. And I'm going to say, hey, if cash minus 100 is less than 0, if cash minus 100 is less than 0, is greater than 0. I'm going to write it from the positive perspective. If cash minus 100 is greater than 0, then the cash can be subtracted. Then the cash per click can be updated. If it's not, then I'm going to go to variables, and I'm going to grab my little console.log, and I'm going to update the console.log to say not enough cash, so that at least it displays an error message and the cash is not subtracted out. Okay, let's start the game, see if it works. I go to the store. It's saying not enough cash. That's a good sign. Not enough cash. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, and it did not put me into the negative territory, so that did work. However, wouldn't it be cool that if within the store, it kind of updated the data in the store, kind of like my game updates the data. Since that came in the template, you might not realize how that works. But the way the template works is every game loop which runs, in this case, 2 times per second. Every time the game is updated, twice per second, the screen is updated by this update main game screen function. And the function main game screen updates the amount of cash and displays it in this this value right here is updated, this label. So I want to do the same thing in the store. So I want to update both of these in the store. Every time I buy something, I want to update those. So I'm going to make a new function. So to make a new function, I'm going to click on function. This function does not return a value. It does an action only. For the uber geeky, it's a void function. And I'm going to have this function here, update. And in this case, it's going to update store screen. So this function specifically updates the store screen, not the main screen, but the store screen. And I'm going to use my UI controls code because I want to set some properties. So the first property I want to set is going to be that store cache. Ooh, I'm glad I labeled it so clearly. Label store cache. Label store cache. I don't know why I have the word screen in there. Oh, because it's on the cache on the store screen. Would have been fine just saying, yeah, but I guess I added the word screen to it. Anyway, okay, so then I'm going to take that text, and I'm going to make that text be cache equals $, and then I'm also going to then throw in the cash amount so that the cash amount is displayed there. And I'm going to call that function a couple of different places. First, I'm going to call that function at the end of when the button is clicked. Whether the error message is triggered or not, I'm going to update store screen. I'm also going to update it as soon as I go into the store. So I'm also going to throw it here too. So when I go into the store, I'm going to automatically trigger it just so that the data is fresh when I go into the store. So when I go into the store, it's going to update the store screen. And when I do any updating or clicking on this button, it's going to update store screen. All right, let's run it. Just make sure it works. You code a little, you run it. Code a little, you run it. I go there. That seems to be updating just fine. I go to the store screen. Ooh, it says $8 here on this one, not on... Wow, I have things a little messed up here. So I'm going to stop and kind of fix that. I got to fix some stuff. First, in the store, I have cash per click. This should say label cash per click. Wow, I messed that up. That's cash per click. And this should say label cash. Okay, so I got a cash per click and a cash. Wow, did I mess that up? Oofda. All right, let's go back to the code and let's see. Here's cash. Here's label. So let's set this property. Label cash. Oop, that's the wrong cache. S-cache. There we go. Let's set that. Okay. Whew. Let's see if I fix it now. Okay, so store. I have $4. I click on it. I don't have enough cash. Nothing happens. Let's go back. Let's increase my amount of money here. Just upping my money so I have enough. Now I have enough to buy it. And look, it subtracts out the 100. And now my cash per click is worth more. But I want to see that value. So I'm also going to add that to my function, or to my label. I am now going to add to the label, set property. I'm going to make sure it says S cash per click, which is the way it should have been in the first place. Text, and then I'm going to say, hey, cash per click equals $ plus cash per click. There we go. And now the cash per click is 100% accurate in theory. And Let's see it go. We're going to run it. We're going to start the game, get a bunch of money. I have plenty. I go to the store. It's properly updated. I hit update and look, I now have enough. I go back. I'm going to get up to another 100 so that I can buy it again. Ooh, now it's worth 7. And the game seems to be working absolutely perfectly. The Click Me is increasing the amount of money in the store. Ooh, don't have enough. Doesn't let me buy it. Everything is going absolutely perfect. Excellent, excellent. Notice how the game is also paused when I'm in the store screen. That's just the way I want everything to be.